Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Kooler Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn, and I'm excited to have you join me as I interview community members and business leaders from the communities in which I live, work, and serve through my business Kooler Garage Doors. We're going to bring you highlights on characters in our communities. Why? Because community matters, and I want to know more about who is behind our business and leadership in order to understand and support the community fabric that our relationships make up. Join me twice a month as we dive into getting to know each other better, and collectively, we can build stronger communities that support our lifestyles, our youth, and our health. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matt Kuehlhorn with the Kooler Lifestyle Podcast. Today's guest, I have Erica Rasmussen. She's a marketer, mom, consultant, overall general go-getter, current executive director for the Crested Butte Snow Sports Foundation. And I'm so excited to talk to her. She has just been exuding, popping up in my social feed, and with the passion that she's just exuding on where from what I see, I'm just excited to get into this conversation. Erica, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thanks so much for having me, Matt. Psyched to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So, one question I ask all guests, because I just love to get into the foundation, the context of a human's life. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Cromwell, Connecticut, about halfway between New York City and Boston.
Right, Cromwell, Connecticut. I really have spent very little time up in that part of our country. Is that small town? Was it rural? Is it city?
Yeah, we were pretty suburban. Definitely, grew up in a neighborhood not too far from like Hartford, Connecticut. And so there was, there were shopping malls and, those big city type of things that we don't have here. And I'm a little more grateful to be here.
Right on. How did growing up there in Connecticut suburbia form who you are today?
I grew up skiing since I could walk, and my family had a little ski house in the woods. It was kind of a trailer, and as my parents had kids, they added on rooms, and we'd go up every weekend. My parents were both ski instructors, and my mom was actually the mountain mascot when she was pregnant with me. So I've been skiing for a long time. But I would go skiing on weekends, and that gave me such a thrill for adventure, for the outdoors. And that's what our family did. And I grew up loving skiing, and that eventually led me out here to some taller mountains.
Yeah, totally. I imagine they're a little bit different. Tell me about that journey from Connecticut out to Crested Butte. When did you get into this valley? How did it like anchor, sink roots in you?
Yeah, so let's see, the winter of '08, that huge winter that we all are wishing we had another one of.
That was so
I came
good.
out, it was amazing. I got really lucky. I remember driving up 135 and the snowbanks were like taller than vehicles, and getting on Elk Ave and just like seeing snow piled so high like never before. I was about to wrap up my senior year of college, and my dad and I came out here for a ski trip, and I was hooked. I had never ever skied mountains like this before, and was just so amazed. Also by just the culture of the community and how easygoing and down to earth everybody was and motivated. So there was a lot of alignment with just kind of my personality, that as I actually was driving to the airport, leaving Crested Butte for the first time and seeing Mount Crested Butte in the rearview mirror, I started crying, and I had like my first like adult happiness tears ever, leaving this valley. So I knew there was something good.
It's awesome. Right on. And how long have you been with the Snow Sports Foundation?
For This is my second winter. And so
Okay.
after college, I actually first took a pit stop in Durango. That was my first job. I actually drove out in September of '08, right after the economy crashed, packed up my car, and took my first job out of college. I got a job out here actually before I finished college, and took my last class online so I could move to Colorado. But even in Durango, I was coming up to Crested Butte a lot. Had friends up here, and eventually made the move in 2010 to the Valley, and have been kind of here ever since, doing marketing and helping the community. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love it here.
Love that. I love that. Okay. Before we get into how your journey's evolving a little bit. Tell me a little bit more about the Snow Sports Foundation. What's the mission? What's the real work that foundation does?
Yeah, it has an incredible mission. Essentially, the Crested Butte Snow Sports Foundation helps empower local youth through snow sports. And so we help get more kids on snow. And so this year, we actually had our biggest scholarship year ever, had over 100% request of scholarships over last year. And we're able to say yes to every family, both last year and this year. With a scholarship in some form. And this year we'll also be opening Craner Hill on Wednesdays for free to the entire community after school. So there's that early release Wednesday. And so you don't have to be a kid to go. You can, as long as you love snow, get up there, go have fun. And so, yeah, our mission is really to help people enjoy this, our colder winters a little bit more.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so what's your crystal ball saying about the triple dip?
I feel like it's gonna be a good winter. Um, I think that it's gonna be one of those where it starts snowing and keeps going. At least that's what we can hope, right?
That's right. It tends to make the winters a little bit more fun for sure. And we need another oh
Absolutely.
07, oh 08 skier like that.
Totally.
That's,
Fill the rivers.
that's right. Yeah, fill the mesa, fill the rivers.
Totally.
Beautiful. Okay, so I mean, in all honesty, your social posts recently have just been really inspiring. And so I want to honor that. I get juiced when I see your face up there and you're talking about running at whatever. And, it seems like you're on a journey and I want to hear more about it. So give me some context. Where's this coming from? How's this a shift for Erica in this part of your
Yeah,
lifetime?
absolutely. So about a year and a half ago, I was kind of feeling like I should be maximizing my potential a little bit more. I'd gone through a career change after the ski area sold and was trying to figure out my path after having, I have two toddlers. Actually, they're 4 and almost 6 now, so I guess I can't call my 5-year-old a toddler anymore, but
Yeah,
just
you're
kind of
almost out of that stage.
we're out of diapers, which is great. But yeah, I really was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And
Yeah,
that's like a heavy question, right? But I became a certified life coach through a company called ULA, who is the mind and body company, and it helps people with life balance. And I am a certified life balance coach. And in
awesome.
that certification process, I learned that I had some opportunities myself. And in really being intentional, especially this past year, we're actually coming up right on a year of my year of transformation. I have said goodbye to about 50 pounds, about 10
Wow.
pant sizes, a shoe
Yeah.
size. It's been an unreal journey, but it's not really what I've said goodbye to. It's about what I've said hello to. And by really being disciplined with my mind and body, um, I'm on this journey where, my goal earlier this year was to try and complete a half marathon next year. That led to 2 half marathons. And now my goal is that in October of next year, I will be completing a half Ironman in Arizona. And so it's just really
Yes. Mm.
awesome when we let our goals fuel us and we let our passion really light us on fire. And really, it's not about me. I've chosen to, use ULA in my own life, but it's helped inspire a lot of people. And I work with individuals, groups, companies to help them with their own life balance, prioritization of goals, finding energy, using their accelerators to really fuel their fire, and also be mindful of those things that hold us back, our blockers that sometimes slow us down. And so, yeah, it's really about empowerment and moving forward in the right direction. And, we all are so unique and different, but we all have fire within us that we just got to stoke.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Love this so much. You're speaking my language. How do you define potential?
All right. I to kind of go off that campfire analogy, like it's like this beautiful fire that like we might have a little glimmer, a little spark of the flame, but like it actually, in most cases, wildfires are not optimal, but when it's a wildfire within for our passion and our purpose, it's beautiful. So, it's really like that fire within, and listening to those things that are, we hear, we see, and those clues along our journey, that it's like, yeah, I need to embrace this and own this, and add fuel to that fire. So, I mean, we all have so much to offer. We were all, designed for greatness and purpose in our lives. And it's up to us to really, forge ahead with that journey and own it.
And you used some verbiage in your description, and one of the words that you used was using accelerators. Tell me more.
Yeah, passion, wisdom, discipline, humility, integrity, love, gratitude. Those are some of our accelerators in ULA, and they're helpful. We all have times where we stumble, right? Last night I was on a run and I fell. Instead of like getting upset at myself or feeling bad for myself for falling, I got up. I was grateful that I was out there in the 19-degree weather and kept going. So using gratitude and passion for this journey is just an example, but there is always something to be grateful for. And obviously this is the season of gratitude. But every single day, through the good and the bad, finding things that we can be thankful for to use as positive energy to move forward.
Yes. But do you have a daily habit or system to spark that gratitude for yourself currently?
Yeah, I make sure that I do that every single day, and I track it. I have a tracker where it literally, like, I am every single day. Normally it's when I first wake up, but if it hasn't happened before I go to bed, I make sure that I take that time to be really intentional. But I've also kind of just woven it into my daily practice where whatever I'm doing, even if I'm at a meeting, like I'll start calling it out, like, wow, Matt, you know, and like say something positive, and just really trying to weave in positivity. Like my blood types be positive, so I guess I can't get away from it.
Both of that. Awesome. Um, I think you might have been part of, you know, Kylina posted a while back around a Ryan Holiday book, and I just started that book, so it took a couple days to get it. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, and it's so on point. So the word discipline, I'm sure there's some etymology in there that is around knife or cutting. Um, but it's also, what you mentioned was saying yes to certain things, right? And this book is so good. I don't know if you've checked it out yet or not, but it's a good one. So I'm gonna plug it again. And I think it's Discipline is Destiny, or maybe the other way around, Destiny is Discipline. Um, at any rate, the saying yes, I'd love to get your insights. How is that, actually aligned with discipline versus like, I think the stigma to discipline is like order and stiffness, and it's like, oh, I must do this, and I rebel against that a little bit, right? But saying yes is actually the jam, right? Because in order for me to put down my cannabis habit from years ago, or alcohol, or some of these pieces that aren't serving Matt and my mission, I really have to say yes to that mission, right?
Totally, absolutely, yeah. I mean, good coaches have coaches, right? And I have a coach, and like I've obviously been on this fitness journey, and if I'm gonna have something that maybe isn't the healthiest choice, she's like, make it count. And so it's like, if I'm gonna say yes to something, I'm gonna make it count, whether it's a really good something to eat or a really good decision. But like, if I'm gonna say yes to it, I darn well better make it count. And I think that's something that has really helped fuel my journey this past year, by being super intentional along the adventure. Because yeah, discipline sometimes sounds miserable, right? Like I just ran the farthest I ever ran last week. I did 7.1 miles. And going into it, I was kind of like, whew, okay, this is going to be tough. But it's like, head down, go. And actually by the end of it, I was smiling ear to ear. And it's just a lot about mindset and ensuring that if we are saying yes to the right things, the discipline will follow because it totally relates to, passion as well as integrity with ourselves.
That's right. And that was a piece from this book I mentioned with Holiday. And there was a quote in there, and I can't remember exactly where. I'm just going to butcher it, so it's a paraphrase. But it's basically, there is no freedom without controlling oneself.
Totally.
And I was like, ooh, hmm. I love paradoxes, and that's a total paradox. Like,
Yeah.
I can't be free until I have that control and the ownership of, at least what goes into my body and what I think and what I read and discipline.
That's funny. Freedom is going to be my word of the year for 2023.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Yeah.
What was your year for 2022?
It was wisdom, and then it turned into limitless. And then it turned into burn, like burn my blockers, burn those things that hold me back. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun to have that word as motivation. And so sometimes, yeah, it will evolve throughout the year as I evolve.
Yeah. I get that. My word for 22 is kind candor. And I don't know what 23 is going to be yet. Gonna let that stew for another few weeks as it plays out.
You've got some time.
Got a little bit of time. It goes quick, as you
Yes,
know, especially with children. Like it seems to fly even faster.
totally.
What a cool inspiration. Erica, what are you excited about over the next few years?
I'm excited to really be pursuing my purpose and my passion, and I have been evolving my journey. I've done a lot of marketing consulting, which is, I help a lot of local entities, but as I evolve and grow, I've done coaching and speaking nationwide. And I think for me, I really want to help empower people. And I'll be navigating down a journey to do more of that. As we embark into 2023, I plan on launching something pretty exciting when it relates to empowerment for ourselves and our bodies. And so I'm cooking up a project, more to come, but it really is exciting to take the time and intention to be focused on here's what I'm doing, here's how I'm going to build it, and here's the launch plan as opposed to hey, guess what I'm doing? Join the fun because again, I really want this to be successful, and I think I've found my where my heart really needs to be, just because I'm energized so much by helping others. So, more to come.
Keeping us on suspense. How do people reach out? How do we either get involved with the Snow Sports Foundation or follow Erica on our journey?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Oola_Erica, OOLA_ERICA. That's probably the best place to follow me and my journey. And then Crested Butte Snow Sports is cbsnowsports.org. And yeah, we'll be out there at Craner every Wednesday pretty soon. Just need a little bit of snow. And yeah, if everyone could do their snow dances, that would be amazing.
That's right. Snow dances. Let's go triple dip. The talk's been huge.
It's time. We're due.
It is time. We've had an early start. That was a good little beginning, good little shot. Just now keep it going.
Totally. My kids woke up and thought it was Christmas. It was awesome.
Love that. Oh my gosh. So fun. Erica Rasmussen. Why don't you close us out? What are some final words? What's good for today? We've got Thanksgiving coming, the season of gratitude.
Yeah, in this
What
season of gratitude, I would definitely, challenge everyone to find gratitude in every day. Think of one thing. It can be the sun shining. It can be the fact that, here we are breathing. Here we are, listening to this awesome podcast. But one little thing. It doesn't have to be anything, huge, but finding that gratitude every day because it does kind of pile up like snowflakes and avalanche in abundance when we are collecting those bits of gratitude, those small wins along the way. And really, I think the other piece is it's not about every win. It's also about learning from our opportunities and challenges. Because if we don't have those things that challenge us, if if the road's not closed once in a while, then we don't figure out how to plow through it. And again, using all these snow analogies, but back to the fire analogy, like what is it that lights the fire within for you? And how do you do more of that? So finding gratitude, fueling your fire, that's what I've got.
I love that. It's so timely. I'm going through some challenges and I hear that. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this connection. I'm grateful for the energy that you're putting out into the world. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much and have a great rest of your year. And I can't wait to hear what your word of the year is going to be.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I find it.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.